beautiful and miraculous it is. He writes, what good are eyes, arms and legs if they lie like dead bodies devoid of a neshama, devoid of a ruach chaim? What's the point of all these body parts, these arms, these legs, these eyes, if they can't move? Why they can't move? Because no ruach chaim. There's no neshama, there's no soul, there's no spirit. So He, meaning Hashem, breathed life into man, the secret of which eludes us to the extreme. No matter how much you investigate the body, we will never understand the neshama. But we know, and all human beings know, that this spirit exists, and that it's due to it that we exist. We call it by different names: spirit, soul, nefesh, ruach, neshama. All these names are references to something we can feel only dimly, for we possess no knowledge of its essence. Anyone that looks into the medical world will see an endless amount of research papers done about every part of the body. Only recently did they discover that the biggest organ in the body is not what they thought. People thought different parts were bigger at different times. As science advanced, they realized, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's the lungs, maybe it's the brain, maybe it's all types of things. And with endless amount of research, literally billions and billions of dollars, they could not even realize that the biggest organ in the body is the skin. And there's an endless amount of research done on every part of the body. Millions of pages written about the eyes, millions of pages written about the heart, millions of pages and man hours spent on the brain and the arms and the fingers and the sensors and the different cells and the DNA and the blood and the different types of blood and even the fingernails. Endless amount of research is done on different body parts you've never even heard of. Endless amount of research and money spent on different body parts you don't want to hear about unless you're in trouble. Like, who actually spends any time reading about the urethra unless they have some type of infection? Or the anal canal unless they have some type of pain? No one wants to read about this. But yet the researchers have spent countless hours and money researching these body parts. Why? Because many people have problems with them. Countless dollars was spent learning about your nails that you just cut and discard. And if you're a righteous Jew, you discard them either in the toilet and flush it, or you burn them. But you definitely do not discard them in the garbage can or on the floor. Point being, there's an endless amount of research, endless amount of money spent on your fingernails that you care less about. Even money spent on your hair. Do you know how much money they've spent and man hours they've spent learning about the hair follicles? And how they've discovered that what Kadosh Baruch Hu told Job is 100% true. That if two hairs were to feed off of the same canal in your head, you simply would not be able to see. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Job, you thought that I made a mistake, that I thought that Eyov, which is Job in Hebrew, is Oyev, which is the same letters just spelled differently, meaning enemy. Do you know how many hairs you have on your head? Do you know how many stars are in the universe? Hashem says, I know. And I have a name for each one of them. Each one of the stars in the universe has a name. Each one of the hairs on your head has a name. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if two hairs on your head would feed their food, which is sweat, from the same hole, you would go blind instantly. Have you ever seen such a thing happen? No. If I'm not going to make a mistake between the two hairs, You think I'm going to make a mistake with your name? You know how much money they spent researching the hair club for men, and the hair club for this, and the hair club for that? All types of money they've spent on the hair because people are so into their looks, and they spend an endless amount of money doing all types of surgeries to make themselves look like monsters. You know how much money these people spend? It becomes an addiction of plastic surgery just to look like a monster. But they keep doing it because they think they look good. You know how much money they spent, and you know how much money the doctor spent in order for him to be the doctor, that this woman, this poor woman, is going to become a monster through his hands? Should call them butchers, not doctors. But you know how much money they spent on doing research? They don't intend on making them look like monsters, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes a woman comes to do a surgery and instead she gets a disease instead because of something wrong in the implant, something wrong in the surgery. I went for an elective surgery. My whole entire body changed because of it. Ishtabach shemo la'ad, best thing that ever happened to me. Endless amount of pain for 16 years. Ishtabach shemo. But the reality is, Rabotai, do you know how many years that doctor that did the original surgery on me told me he was in? I told him, is this surgery a difficult surgery? He said, no, I've been doing this for 16 years. He mocked me. He goes, what, are you questioning me? I've been doing this for 16 years. I do 3-4 a day. I do 3-4 a day. It's easy business. Each time somebody comes in, a few $1,000s, easy. Easy. For him it's easy. He's just cutting. I'm the one that has to live with it. Baruch Hashem. You know how much money people spent on the research that he relied on to fail miserably? Endless amount of money. And yet, Rabotai Karim, how much money is spent on investigating the soul? Where regardless of, let's say you discovered all the secrets to the hair and how to grow it and how to remove it and so on. Let's say you discovered the secrets to skin, to remove acne and all types of other things that you don't want on your skin. Let's say you discovered all of the secrets of the heart and you could put all types of things in there to make sure the guy lives longer and so on and so forth. Let's say you discovered all the different types of bacteria that go into the foot so it doesn't affect your nails, you don't have to remove the nail, and you're really good at that. Is that going to make someone live forever? No. No money is spent on the soul, even though the soul is the engine to it all. There's no research on the soul outside of Am Yisrael, outside of the Avrechim that learn Torah all day, outside of the regular Yehudim like you that learn Torah every day, outside of the righteous Noahites that learn Torah every day. No research on the soul, the engine to it all, the only thing that moves at all. Where even if you fix the nails, you fix the heart, you fix the brain, you fix the hair, you still don't have a guarantee you'll live another day. But no money is investigated into that. In truth, the Chazon Ish says there are many enthralling and wondrous parts in the person's body. The limbs, the joints, the accommodations of the spirit of life within a material body, the makeup of flesh and bone, the circulation of blood in the arteries that enable life, and blood itself, which is the life of man. All these different things that people invest their life, their careers, searching these things, the secret of your blood. Why does it clot here? Why doesn't it clot? How come it doesn't clot on its own? How come it knows? How does it know to clot only when you have a wound? How come it doesn't clot inside? And if it does, Shem Yachem, you die. If you have a clot, you have a cut, immediately blood comes out, but then the blood knows, like someone told it. Send him a text message, better than WhatsApp. It's the type of text message you have to answer, or else the person's going to die. Blood, start clotting now. Yeah, but I wasn't clotting the whole time. Why do I have to start clotting now? I'm tired. No. Clot now. Why? You're going to die if you don't. If the blood doesn't start clotting immediately, a person's going to die. That's why people that have a problem with blood clotting, they have to take special medicine. And they also have to be very, very careful not to get cuts. How does the blood know? What does it have? A brain, the blood? You ever see a blood with glasses? Walking around, hey, what's up, man? What are you working on? No, I'm clotting. You're still doing that stuff? Nah, I moved on. How does it know? How does it know how to clot? How does it know to clot? How come it doesn't decide to clot just on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon just because it feels like it? Because if it clots, it's a heart attack. If it clots, it's a brain aneurysm. When people have a brain aneurysm, when they have a septic hemorrhage in their head, what does that mean? That means that out of all of these tiny, tiny microscopic veins that you have in your brain, a tiny little speckle of a blood, we're not even talking about like a big, or even something you could see with the naked eye, a tiny little speckle of a blood decide I'm going to clot. Not the whole blood, not everything. Tiny, tiny portion that you need a microscope to see decide to clot. Rest of the blood's going fine, working like a soldier. But this tiny little thing, the Rasha is dead. Same thing happens with other things. How does the blood know when, who, what, when? Where to learn it? Did he go to university? All of these wonderful things that you see, your blood circulates through your entire body. The blood that you have in your finger right now, in a matter of seconds, it will be in a different body part. Throughout the day, it will be throughout your entire body. Throughout your entire body. So there's no blood that's more special than the other. All of them get to give you life everywhere. The different arteries, the different holes that you have in your body, if they're shut for a second, it's a heart attack. I remember I had a client in Kansas, told me that he had all types of stems put in his heart and so on. I looked it up and I saw he literally had to have his heart opened. Why? In order to allow the heart to continue functioning. We all take it for granted. We walk around like it's supposed to function, like it owes us something.